Hi, I'm Leslie Simmons. I'm a lifelong resident of Bartow County and very interested in the work of the Etowah Valley Historical Society, especially Corra Harris, since she did live in the Rydell Pine Log area, which is the area that I'm from. A few years ago, the Etowah Valley Historical Society had a young student from Kennesaw State, her name was Gentry, come to the valley, which is the Corra Harris place. And she gave a talk about her work as a research student on Corra Harris's life, and it was very informative. She wrote a work that she entitled Corra Harris Contradictions that was very informative about her research on Corra Harris and how conflicted she was with her work as a female writer and the limitations that females had at that time. The property is important because it ties by legend that the main cabin was actually a cabin of Chief Pine Log in that area. So that part of the property is still there, and there have been made additions onto the main house that Corra Harris lived in later in her life. Also on the property, the grave where Corra Harris was buried, there's been a chapel built over her grave after her death. Corra Harris was an interesting figure in history because of her accomplishments as a female writer. Her main book that she wrote was A Circuit Rider's Life. It was based on semi-autobiographical on her life, embellished, of course, as a fictional book. But she was married to a preacher who did ride a circuit, and her book was made into a movie. She wrote many other books, and most of those were based on her life, although she did write some purely fiction. She also was an author for the Saturday Evening Post and wrote for that magazine for many years. She was the first female war correspondent from World War I. She was an advocate for women's rights, for voting, for women to be able to be designated as the head of household for tax purposes. She really contributed a lot to the female movement and is an important figure in Bartow County. I was really excited to have been able to attend the lecture field trip that Etowah Valley Historical Society offered in 2017, and especially the work that Gentry presented to the group that evening. If you're more interested in Gentry's work and her article, you can find that on the Etowah Valley Historical Society website. Her article was entitled Corra Harris Contradictions, along with her work that she did as part of this project to transcribe many personal letters that Corra Harris had written to Joy Aiken, who was her attorney's wife and who still has the Aiken Law Firm in Cartersville that Morgan Aiken is a descendant from. So please go for more information to the Etowah Valley Historical Society website.